Alright, let's talk about Heavy Traffic. So, this is the second animated movie by Ralph Bakshi. Um, yep, and a lot of people seem to like this even more than Fritz the Cat, but yeah, I saw it. Honestly, I'm like Fritz the Cat, I'm on the fence with this one. But, I don't know. Anyway, the plot is we got this young man named yeah Michael Corleone. So yeah, that might I mention this was a year after The Godfather was released. Um, so yeah, it's probably no coincidence that he happens to have the exact same name as the main character from that movie, and also why an actual Godfather character appears at one point in the movie, and he clearly seems to be based on you know uh, Marlon Brando's portrayal of the Don. Um, but yeah, he's a 22-year-old virgin who is also a cartoonist, and yeah, he lives in New York City with these two constantly abusive parents. Like, his dad is constantly cheating on his mom, and he comes home and his mom's like trying to kill him, and you know he fights back as well, and he beats her pretty brutally as well. So yeah, it's uh and yeah, I guess Michael goes out for a night on the town, and yeah, I guess like Fritz the cat, this is kind of about the sexual exploits of this rather unlikable jerk. Um, you know, this yeah unlikable douchebag basically, and but yeah, again, like Fritz the cat, pretty much every character in this movie is unpleasant, and but yeah, I guess the nature of the movie is it's commentary on inner city life, and inner city life ain't pleasant, and of course it's not without its rather degrading portrayals of both women and black people. Literally, yeah, I think pretty much every single female character in this movie like takes her clothes off, or she has like her breasts or buttocks hanging out. Um, you know, or both, and yeah, and yeah, the black people, they're a lot of them are drawn with like the you know they're drawn in rather stereotypical ways. Like, the closest thing we have to a dignified black portrayal is the love interest of the movie, Carol. Um, but yeah, uh, so yeah, I I guess you could say what you will about you know uh, Bakshi's racial sensitivities, but I don't know. I guess it might be kind of more like what they did in Dumbo, where it's kind of supposed to be a fascination with black culture, but it just the way it's executed is a little insensitive, and yeah, it's yeah, uh, and yeah, like I said, there's a lot of nudity, and well, most of it is not very attractive to look at. There's like a couple there's a couple fairly or legitimately attractive females in the movie, but aside from them, there's there's quite a few women as well that are not attractive at all. There's one scene where the main character's dad, who's like also a mafia boss, I guess, he like takes home this hooker for his son, and like she's fat and ugly, and yeah, you do see a little too much of her. Um, but yeah, uh, there's a drag queen in the movie, yeah, and yeah, again, not very many pleasant characters. And yeah, it's kind of like after the main character meets Carol, they kind of spend the movie trying to make a living, I guess. But they start getting into some rather criminal stuff, like he becomes a pimp, she becomes a prostitute. Um, let's see, and let's see. Yeah, it's again, it's a bit of a crazy story and kind of hard to go into full details, but yeah. And then, yeah, at the end, the main character straight up murders a guy that Carol's having sex with, and then his dad hires this guy who I guess works. He's like a bouncer at Carol's bar, and yeah, 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 Michael's dad hires him to kill Michael or something because he like brought disgrace on his family by hooking up with a black chick, and yeah. So yeah, Michael gets shot dead, and also there's all this avant-garde animation as usual with these kinds of movies. Um, and yeah, it turns out the whole thing was like I guess it was portrayed by a pinball game that a live action version of Michael was playing, and he breaks the pinball machine, and he goes out on the street and he meets up with the live action version of Carol, and they argue a bit and then seem to hit it off or something. Yeah, I don't get everything that happens, but whatever. Commentary and all that stuff. So I can't say I like the movie. A lot of the animation kind of feels pretentious, and you know, honestly, it's kind of the same thing I feel with all these other X-rated movies. It's just, you know, kind of feels like an excuse for like a bunch of shocking stuff, nudity, um, sexual stuff, and pretentious animation. Um, but again, I do give it credit for like going for going for a mature angle with these kinds of movies. Again, it does feel like it pulls it off better than the Japanese ones I've been reviewing. Um, and yeah, there's I guess they take full advantage of being an adult movie. There's aside from the pre-mentioned sex, there's a lot of violent scenes. Honestly, yeah, the gore in this movie is kind of more shocking than Fritz, because I don't know. There's quite a few gory scenes that are, yeah, pretty nasty. Um, but yeah, and language, drug use, alcohol, that usual stuff. Um, uh, I mean, the animation again is interesting, although I think I'm a little desensitized to it after watching all these other X-rated movies, including Fritz. Um, but yeah, I do like the music in this movie. Like the main theme is like this jazzy version of Scarborough Fair, and yeah, that's a nice little tune to snap your fingers to. Um, and what else? A bunch of famous 50s songs like, Twist and Shout and Chuck Berry's Maybelline. Um, yeah, it plays during some cartoon that the main character did, and it's like these. Yeah, the cartoons he does like seem to have a lot of black stereotype drawings, and yeah, the cartoon he does is like about this. I guess the Maybelline in question is cheating on this one guy who's like chasing after the car that she and the you know other guy she's with. Yeah, and during the chase they have sex in the car, and yeah, it's all goofy and. But yeah, it's I guess it's Ralph Bakshi doing everything he can to be as shocking and offensive as he can. Um, I know Ralph Bakshi is a very polarizing figure in animation, and yeah, to be honest, I have pretty mixed feelings about his work myself, or at least in terms of what I've seen so far. Um, yeah, I can't say his work is really for me. I mean, nonetheless, I'm going to be watching the rest of his stuff coming up. But, uh, but yeah, it's all the adult stuff that's never really appealed to me. But, you know, again, I do respect what he does. I respect that he tries to show a more adult side of animation. Um, I would kind of like it if maybe he doesn't like shove it in your face how adult it is, but whatever. It is like a nice contrast from like all the cutesy kitty stuff that you usually see from animated movies and animation in general. But yeah, I guess I would like to see more balanced adult stuff that is definitely mature, but it doesn't go for shock humor just to be shocking, or you know, shove titties in your face. Um, yeah, yeah. I feel pretty much the same about this movie as I did with Fritz. I respect it. It's just not for me. So, me personally, I'm gonna give it a 6 out of 10. Um, and again, if this kind of if these kinds of movies appeal to you, feel free to check this one out. I'm sure it's got plenty that you'll enjoy in more ways than one. Wink, wink. Um, and yeah, as usual, if there's anything else I forgot to talk about here, I'll put it in the comments. Um, and yeah, I guess that'll be it for now. Mash it and smash it, signing off.